Zane Branson in Amsterdam. One of your athletes, Wilson Chebet, is one of the favorites. What's his preparation? What was his preparation for Amsterdam?
He's just been doing his usual program that he does before most marathons, but it's all been going well. And Wilson has had no injuries or any other issues. So just have to hope for the best. And too late to do anything about it now since they're out there. But no, he's in good shape. Yeah.
He's in good shape. He was 2 times also winner here in Amsterdam. Is he looking for a third victory?
Of course, yeah. And hopefully it's if the wind cooperates, then it's a little bit breezy, but like last year. But the wind on the second half is at their back, so that might help. But he's obviously looking to go under 2:5 because he's certainly capable of doing that. But it's just have to be a little bit lucky with the weather today, I think.
The marathon, there's a lot of progress in times. We had a new world record. The old world record holder is Patrick Makau. You're also the manager of Patrick Makau. What was his comment on the time of Wilson Chebet?
Patrick, he was with me in Berlin. We were there because all the world record holders had to be there for the 40th anniversary, and I wasn't sure how Patrick would react at the end of it, and I went back to the hotel right from the finish line because I was in one of the pace cars, and I went back and thinking, but Patrick was like a big relief had come over him, because there's a lot of responsibility. I mean, Patrick handled it very well, but being a world record holder, particularly during an Olympic year, was very stressful. There's not a week went by in 2012 there wasn't 1 or 2 film crews there filming him or people it's just a major adjustment for most athletes. I mean, Wilson Chebet obviously handled it well. He's been in the limelight for quite a while, and he's had some big performances. And but it was kind of for Patrick a little different. And if he's certainly not finished, he's going to come back stronger than ever. He was taking care of his injury in Germany, and if he happens to get the record back or wins, he's certainly going to handle it differently than the first time around. Not that he did anything wrong, it's just that psychologically he won't let that pressure affect him like it did in the past 2 years.
Looking at times in the marathon, what do you think? Will there be soon a new world record? Last week there was Kimetto, 20 seconds of the new world record of Kipsang. It's going faster and faster.
It is. I mean, there's obviously some limit to how fast they can go, you would imagine. But I think the 2-3 barrier is certainly under threat. It might happen in 6 weeks. It might happen, or not 6 weeks, but in 6 months, say. And you just don't know. There's a new crop. When guys run that fast, the other guys get confidence. If he can do it, and we grew up beside him, I know I can do it. Type of attitude, and that's how the Kenyans really push. And of course, the Ethiopians are running extremely fast as well. So makes the sport a little bit more exciting, of course, and so it's hard to say. But I don't think. Another 30 to 45 seconds is something is reasonable about how much it can be improved. But who that is, or it could be it's just a guess because there's a lot of new guys we don't even know about. Maybe they'll appear today, and one of them could be the next world record that wins today. You never know. So that's the way the marathon is. That's the beauty of the marathon.
The beauty of the marathon is also a mental process between the ears of an athlete. When he knows there are times possible of 2:04, 2:03, how important is that mental process?
Well, it's everything. I mean, confidence. You're not going to win a race or run fast unless you're confident and believe in what you've been doing, because the marathon keeps you honest. It's not like you can run well and have a good day in a 10K and maybe even a half marathon, but a marathon, you can't fool anybody but yourself if you haven't prepared properly, and you're lucky. But it's, marathon is also very much affected by the weather conditions and how you feel when you get up in that morning. That's again that's the beauty of the marathon. It's nobody can control the distance. I mean, you can race well, but our metabolism isn't made to run at this speed for 26 miles or 42 kilometers. So it is about belief in themselves and confidence. And so I think all the top guys out there today are obviously, for the most part, I'm sure, are believing in themselves. So
There will also be the entry next year of Mo Farah. What do you think? What can he do in the marathon? Is he a new man for a new world record, or are that expectations too high?
well, my feeling is it's not fair to Mo to put all this expectation on him. We've seen this happen with other big, great athletes that world records are predicted, and then it's the pressure. An athlete doesn't need pressure going into a marathon. The preparations need to be, that and more pressure in a marathon, the less there's a chance of them actually using this, because and Mo, obviously, you can't write him off for anything. He's a fantastic athlete, and on paper you would think that running a fast marathon is certainly in his future, but how fast, is very difficult to predict. I was in London, and the first half was very fast, obviously, not a marathon this year, and that was one reason, because Mo was in the field, so it kind of disrupted a bit, I think. But when he stopped before halfway, because I was on the women's pace truck, and then saw them when he stopped about 50 meters before the halfway point, and he had his hands on his knees, and so if he wants to break the world record, it has to do 2 of those. So it's a big jump. It's and it can't be taken lightly. And I'm sure Mo's not, or Alberto is obviously a renowned coach and a friend of mine, and and I know that they know what they're doing in preparation. So I'm sure that he's hoping for the best.
That's the beauty of the sport. There are so many things you can't predict in the marathon.
No, you can't. Like I say, you have to be fortunate in some ways that your body just responds when you wake up. You just have one day that you feel okay, and because you can have a day, everybody has this in training, but you can work through it in training. But in a marathon, you can't fake it. It has to be there for you on that day, and you have to be fortunate with the weather, and you have to be fortunate enough to get at the top level to be invited to the right race where you can run fast. There's a lot of races you can get to, fantastic races, but you're not going to break a world record on them or run 2-3, So you have to be fortunate enough, because there's so many Kenyans and Ethiopians trying to get in certain races. So it's, only a few select ones are able to have that opportunity. So that's another thing they can't really control in the short term.
Mr. Branson, thank you very much. Lots of success with your wonderful athletes.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.